Welcome to part 2 of our incredible journey through Cappadocia. Today, we'll explore the iconic fairy chimneys, marvel at their unique formations, and witness a captivating pottery demonstration. Yesterday, we soared above this stunning land on an unforgettable hot air balloon ride, and now we're ready to uncover more of Cappadocia's beauty. Let's get started. So this morning we are on our way to what I'll affectionately refer to as Fairy Chimney Park. And this place is going to blow your mind. And as we enter, this is the entrance here. There's a little area where they sell things, but I can't wait to run into this park. It is so cool. This Fairy Chimney Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that showcases the otherworldly beauty of this region. And the fairy chimneys are a geological masterpiece that were sculpted over thousands of years by volcanic eruptions, wind, and rain. These towering cone-shaped rock formations, some tops with balsamic caps like whimsical hats, create a landscape that feels like stepping onto another planet. So right now we are walking through the land of fairy chimneys in Cappadocia. So pretty cool. Great place for pictures. Standing among the fairy chimneys, it's hard not to feel a sense of awe at the diversity of God's creation. From the rugged cliffs of the Grand Canyon to the lush rainforest of the Amazon, to the mountains of Colorado and to the glaciers of Alaska, the world is a canvas of breathtaking variety. And in Cappadocia, the fairy chimneys stand as a testament to this divine creativity, where natural forces and time have crafted a landscape that feels both ancient and alive. Each region of the earth tells its own story, shaped by the same hands that molded these towering spires, reminding us of the infinite imagination behind our planet's beauty. This area feels raw and unspoiled, with few signs of human intervention, and the absence of the rock-cut sanctuaries or homes let the natural beauty take center stage, inviting us to focus on the pure, organic forms of the chimneys themselves. But before we leave, here's a little view of the visitor center, and then in this barn over here is a little market where they sell all kinds of things. And as we walk through here on our way out, you're just bombarded with all kind of things that you can buy, little trinkets and shirts and cloth. And as we're leaving, we get a good overview of this valley with the chimneys. So right now we're on a scenic drive through some surreal landscapes of Cappadocia, and we're on our way from the fairy chimneys to the Pigeon Valley Overlook. And this place, I heard, is incredible. We made it to the overlook, and the landscapes here are just incredible. I don't know if you notice, but there are a camel behind me. Actually, there are a few camels behind me. As you can see, I was pretty impressed by these camels. You don't see a camel every day in Indiana. But I was also pretty impressed by the views. You don't get these views in Indiana much either. And here we are, the Pigeon Valley Overlook. Just look at this view. Stretching out before us is the dramatic expanse of the Pigeon Valley, a gentle canyon carved by time, dotted with fairy chimneys and lush greenery. It's no wonder this spot is a favorite for photographers and travelers alike. One of the quirkiest sights here is this wishing tree, draped with colorful evil eye beads and fabric strips. Rooted in local traditions, it's said to bring good luck and ward off bad energy. I must say, one of the most beautiful times in Cappadocia is right after sunset, when you see the whole city kind of light up in the distance. Today, we're heading to the charming town of Avanos, renowned for its centuries-old pottery tradition. Join us as we explore a pottery demonstration, a highlight of any visit to Cappadocia, and marvel at the artistry that brings the region's red clay to life. Nestled along the banks of it's a river I can't pronounce, but I'm going to call it Kaymak, and I'll put it on the screen, which is the longest river in Turkey. Avanos has been a hub of pottery making for thousands of years. And this is where we're going to see our pottery demonstration. During a pottery demonstration, you can expect an experience that blends history, skill, and creativity.
You can see which is good exercise for him. Strong right legs. So try to guess what he's going to make for you. Don't say pottery.
A picture.
A picture, perfect. This one.
Oh, wow.
This is the wine pitcher. This is from the ancient Hittites. Dates back to 2000 BC. They used to put on their shoulder like this. They bent and served wine.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, wow.
Maybe this afternoon. Are you going to Ankara?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So you will see the original one in the Museum of Anatolian Civilizations. Dates back to 2000 BC from Hittites, ancient people. Second technique is from the wrist like this. You can use it. I like it directly from the sky. This is the best way. You can see he started from the bottom. That's the base, upside down. That's the first part. After the base, he's going to make the spout, handle, and circle. 4 pieces in total. After that, he's going to put them together. That's how he makes this special shape. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
I think you know the reason. Practice. Over 25 years practice. See, cutting it off. He started when he was 15 years old. Now he's 18 years old. He's not that handsome, but Patrick Schweizer.
No, I disagree.
I'm lucky that he doesn't understand English. So try to guess how he's gonna make the circle. Okay, now he's folding it over. If you wanna record it, because there is no replay.
Oh, wow.
Now he's cutting it off. He made a hole to attach the spout. You can see.
Forget Patrick, that was amazing.
That's the top. Cutting the spout with the rope. This is just for demonstration, because for normal productions we wait 3 days before putting them together. They are too soft right now. So the piece that he made for us going to be recycled, not going to be fired or used.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
I wish they teach those things in school.
It's a tradition passed from father to son, generation to generation. Okay, ready? Bravo.
Incredible.
So after that amazing demonstration, we stepped into the workshop to take a little tour. Here we are watching one of the master craftsmen decorate one of the pieces of pottery. It is a very tedious procedure to decorate these pieces of work. But now we're going to head on and see another master craftsman.
So all these signed by the masters. Ahmed, you see his name? Yeah, this is his design.
It's so lovely.
And Phyllis, she's also apprentice.
Oh my
She
goodness.
does the coloring. Okay, let's continue. You can see our field on the right side.
Here's some more of those pictures that we just saw being made.
But for those wine decanters, you have to pour it inside and outside. That's how they do the glazing. After glazing, we put into kiln again for second fire. During the second firing, this glaze melts because of the heat. It becomes transparent and shiny like this. It seals it. That means colors and designs never fade, even you wash, even you use. This is the process. Master, Mr. Saim Kolhan, Mr. Red. Why he is famous? Because he is in the list of UNESCO, Living Woman Treasure in Turkey. This is one of his signature pattern. You can see red color is the most difficult color on ceramic to catch.
So yesterday after the Turkish rug demonstration, we made a big purchase, but today I will inform you that we did not buy any pottery. We thought that that might be a little tricky to get home. Well, that's a wrap for our incredible journey through Cappadocia. If you loved exploring Cappadocia with us, please hit that subscribe button to join our channel for more unforgettable travels. Share your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.